So yeah, guys, first of all, welcome all of you for this Appian demo, and we can in this during this 1 hour we'll see that why Appian, and then why you are here to select Appian and work on Appian, what is the current market positioning, and how is the career growth in Appian and all, right? So before we start, do you guys have any questions, anything in your mind that you wanted to ask? Please go ahead. Okay. Um,
Are you
Fine.
covering
So
only this APN top? Sorry to interrupt. Are you covering only this APN topics or you cover this SQL also?
no, we generally cover the Appians only, not the SQL part. We'll see that how do we create the tables and all. Those things are fine. Basic things like creating the table, updating a
Like,
table.
yeah. Okay. Like views, what is views, materialized views, like, like other basic things, would you explain or just like how to create a table update only this?
See, ideally, we only do these things, right? Not the other things like the core of the database. We talk about the creating a tables, inserting the data to it. I will see how to update a table, and then we also see that few things of a view if it is required, but not in the depth.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
mostly we
Okay.
will be covering all the Appian terminologies. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Shiva, this is coding or no coding, Shiva? Because of Harita told right SQL and all.
Uh-huh. No, this is a low coding. It's not like a no coding. There's a quite slight difference between no coding and low coding. In the low code,
Like
Appian is
Pega, right?
basically, sorry.
Light Pega, right? Light Pega, right?
Yes, it's just like the Pega. Yeah, like you have to do some coding. And it's not like the coding is very tough. You will be easy to pick up. If the codes are very easy to pick up, and
Okay.
yeah, not that much complexity is there. Like Java and all, right? It's everything is drag and
Oh,
drop. Mostly what I can see is that we have a configurations in Appian. So all the objects are there. You just have to drag and drop the object and do some configurations. For example, if I say
okay.
uh, you don't have to write a code for a text field, the text field is already there. What you need to write a code for it, like if you want to put some validations, like the character should not be more than 50. So like such kind of things you need to put in a code, and the code will look like if condition, if the character length is 50 or greater than 50, throw some words and message. So very small code you will be able to see that, right? So that's the thing. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay. And call me, my name is Ravi, not Shiva.
Okay, sorry, Ravi. Okay,
No
carry on.
problem. All right. Okay. And yeah, anything else you wanted to know? I mean, before we proceed.
Yeah, sir, I have some doubts.
I'm
Hello.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
It's like will have opportunities in this right now. I'm not getting any calls in RTM.
Okay. So, I
Hello.
mean, have you tried? Have
Uh,
you tried? Can you hear me?
Try చేస్తున్నాను సార్ లైక్ ప్రాక్సీకే ట్రై చేస్తున్నాను. ఇట్స్ లైక్ రైట్ నౌ ఇన్ మే అండ్ ఏప్రిల్ ఆల్సో. అంటే ఫ్యూచర్ లో ఎలా ఉంటుంది సార్, లైక్ 2+ years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఫేక్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చా? మేము అంటే ఐటీలోనే వర్క్ చేశాను.
Sri Lakshmi, just one second. Sri Lakshmi, sorry, I don't understand Telugu. Is it okay if you can tell in English?
సార్
Basically, uh, after completed our training, we can get calls from uh,
See,
current market
yes.
situation. She asking,
Okay.
and
So,
she like a fresher, but she have 2 years of fake experience. Then we can get calls or like
mhm.
that. She asking.
Okay. So the thing is that current positioning. If you talk about the Appian, right? There's a lot of requirements in the Appian. Markets are very high for Appian resources. People are in demand. Even though
Yes,
you
sir.
are, yeah,
But it's like they're saying to come to office. Like we can manage by going to office after.
okay.
Sir,
So, yeah,
hello.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Lakshmi.
అది మనం మేనేజ్ చేసుకోగలమా సార్? మీరు లైవ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేయిస్తారా మాతో?
Okay. I need a subtitle, please, because I don't understand Telugu. That's what I'm trying to ask.
No, actually, she is asking whether we can manage if they're calling to office. Are you going to practices on live projects like that?
Yeah, so see, I mean, uh, it doesn't matter you work from home or you go to office, right? If you want to work for an Appian development, you have to face the client. You have to face your seniors, right? That's not like in home you can't, you will be okay without working. The thing is that you need to learn the concept of Appian, and how good you are able to learn it, that depends on you, right? So during this our training, what we do, we try to create an application, the entire application. We don't go the topic wise, like today I learn about the process model, tomorrow I learn about the interface and all like that. Okay, we don't do in that way. Personally, I don't do it that way. What I do is that we pick up a topic. For example, we pick up a, like, leave management system. Okay, so how do we apply a leave to our system? How do we have, we uh, those leaves go for an approval? So all those things come in a process, right? So based on that, we do it in that way. So definitely, yes, I mean, once you learn the concepts, you will be able to work from either from work from home or you go to office. But yes, as a being a fresher or with the 2 years of fake experience, you have to be very smart in a way that you don't let them know that you are with a fake experience, right? So there's a situation where you need to handle the way, according to you. We can't say what kind of situations will be there, right? So you need to learn that also, how to hide your secrets. I mean, basically, you are fake resource, then yes, you need to be very strong in your technically, right? So if I say that paying attention in the class will be very much required. Okay.
Okay, sir. What is the duration of this course, sir?
The general, I mean, if I talk about the average, it goes 30 to 35 sessions, every session for an hour. But sometimes, people, if you guys are very much interested, if you guys keep asking the questions and trying to get your doubt clears, it may go up to 40 sessions as well, right? So that's how the training duration is there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. What is an Appian? You guys are here, you must be knowing about the Appian, right? What Appian is. Why not Java? Why not .NET or C or something like that? Why Appian? So this is a question to all of you. Why you are here? Why you think you need to come for Appian?
It's like అంటే
Java and all .NET and all the
లో
things in
కోడ్ ఉంటుంది.
low
We
coding
can
tools we can.
Sorry, one by one, please. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Harisha.
Yeah, it's like compared to like Java and .NET, we are coding there. It's like a low coding. What already built-in features will be there, and we just need to use that features. So it's
Uh-huh.
easy to add coding and all. So that's why maybe we want to learn this API.
Okay. It is easy, or it is also very demandable in the market, right?
Yeah, it's very
Like
demandable in the
those
market
want to
also.
learn Appian.
APN and Pega.
Okay. Exactly. So market is also, very high. I mean, demand is very high. Even during the COVID also, the many company was firing their employees, but the Appian resources was getting a new jobs, right? Even I personally switched in during the COVID. So that's how the Appian position is currently in the market. If you want, I can go through the slides, but I mean, yeah, let's talk about these things in general. So see, the thing is that first of all, if you guys are coming to this training, I would like to, ask you guys to clear your mind. Okay, I'm learning Appian. There will not be any code. I don't need to have to do the code, or it will be very easy. Okay, it is easy as compared to Java and C or .NET, but obviously you guys have to do some hands-on practices, right? Um, it's just like that. You can't learn swimming by watching the videos, right? You need to get into the water, so you need to do your hands-on. Personally, if I talk, ask me that, I have seen the people who has done the hands-on during this training sessions, they are good, they know, they understand the concept. But generally what happens, many people think that, okay, I have a recorded video, I can watch it sometime later and then I can take it up. That's not gonna work, guys. So you guys had to do the practices. Okay. Many people complain that you said it will be very easy, but it's not. That depends, right? It maybe you feel it is easy, but for someone who is not from a technical background, they can feel it like, okay, the trainer mentioned it is easy, but it's not like feels easy to me, right? So those kind of things are there. Now if you talk about, like, this is all things that I want you guys to do. If you come to the training, uh, do hands-on, be more technical, ask more questions, um, you know so I can explain more and more, right? Okay, now if you talk about the market positioning, it's very high, very demandable, and the requirement is very high. And then if you talk about the experiences, what kind of experience if you want to go with, like, there are two kind of resources, one is the fake and one is the genuine resource, right? So genuine resource might be working in some other technology, right? But if they want, like, suppose you are a 4 years of experience in Java and then you want to switch to Appian, if you go directly, the Appian, but if you go directly, it's meaning that, a total I have 4 years of experience and then I want to switch in Appian, they will say that it means you do not have any experience in Appian. In that case, what you could do, you can mention that, okay, out of 3 years I have in my Java, and last 1 year I'm working as an Appian developer, right? So if you mention like that, they will consider, okay, yeah, you have at least 1 year of experience in Appian. Let's consider. They will go with the interview process. Okay. Now, interview process, if you have the certifications, definitely you will have the plus point. So in Appian, we have 3 level of certifications: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is for analyst, level 2 is for senior developer, and level 3 is for a lead. Level for your initial role, if you're going with 1 year of experience, the level 1 is more than enough. Okay, if you have level 2 also cleared, which is well and good, definitely you will get a plus point. Okay, people refer the employee who has a certified. Okay, now the questions come into your mind is that, will you be able to complete the certification after this training? Yes, no doubt for the level 1, because level 1 certification questions, they ask few technical but more of the sides of, like, what is the agile methodology, how do you work on a sprint, all those things, very general terms will be there, right? And level 2 will be a bit technical questions. If you are going to give your attention to your training and learn the concepts, you will be able to clear it. Okay, level 3 is definitely is the architect level. You have to be more and more practice on it, okay, for clearing this level 3, but which is not required. Level 1 is more than enough for freshers, and level 2 is like for a 3 to 4 years of experience. Okay, any questions in the certifications? All right, now if you
Ravi, for
yeah,
2 years, which certification is the means level 1 for 2 years and level 2 for 5 years, like that you can tell me.
yeah, I mean, if you are showing like more than 3 years of experience in Appian, it would be very much preferable if you can complete your level 2.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay. And now the other paper candidate that we have is basically the fake candidates. We do not have any experience and they wanted to switch it very quick to the Appian. How can we do that? How can they do that? So basically, you should be technically very strong and confident enough to answer the questions. Because people will easily catch you if you try to fake some answers. So try to put your answers in somewhat in the real scenarios, not only to the some kind of general solutions, like, as I talk about lead management system, do not mention that I work on a lead management system application. No company will create an application for lead management system, right? So that's for an example. So try to get some real project experience. Whoever is giving you the certificates of a fake, they can easily give you the certificate. I mean, some applications hands-on as well, right? This is the application you might have worked on, something like that. So try to get that one and show your confidence while answering. Okay, this is the application I worked. This was the client. This was the thing and all, right? Okay. Now when it comes to technical parts, so if you will be paying the attention in training, you will be able to answer. Okay? So there are not a very big questions, as you said, right? Appian is easy to learn as well as it is easy to clear as well, right? In terms of interviews, why? Because the questions are pretty much 90% of questions will be fixed questions that everyone definitely asks. 10% like scenario based. Then those 10% like, if I face some scenario, I'll ask according to that. If someone has faced some different scenarios, they will ask the questions according to that. So that is about the questions. It's not that tough to correct. It's easy. It's just you should look like very confident enough. Okay. And if there are any more questions, or shall I start sharing? So okay, Appian. So it's an automation is there faster. We guarantee the Appian low code Appian automation platform. So it also can do the automation is kind of things like we can schedule a process which can run at some particular time, and then it can also perform some tasks. Okay, before reaching here, right? I mean, let me clear you guys. Like, we will be going through the uh, code development area of the Appian. What is required to create an application project. Appian also has robot RPA, robotic process automation, which we will not be going to cover. It also has IDP, intelligent document processing. So those are the separate application things that we are not going to cover. We will be covering the core development area of an Appian, which is required to create a basic application which is being used. So RP and IDP is being used by a few of the companies, but it is not very new to the Appian as well. They use Blue Prism or something else, other RPA tool for Appian. Okay, all right. So yeah, I mean, you guys know the Appian. Some mentioned that it's easy and it's a low code. But what is Appian is basically how it is different from Java and C and all. Anyone can answer?
It's basically
See,
a business process management system. It's a BPM system.
Java is
Yeah, Java is what? Yeah, tell it. Go ahead.
Java is the programming language, but Appian is the
Mhm.
tool which is built using the Java language.
That is correct. So one more thing to know that this Appian has been built in the Java itself. Okay, but we are not going to use Java things here, right? The coding standard will be similar to Java, but you will not be using Java codes here. Okay, and that's correct. As you said that it's a BPM tool. So what do you guys think about a BPM? What is a BPM?
Basically, BPM is used for the business process management, that the workflow system.
Yeah, that is correct. So, in terms of BPM, business process management, what's a business? Business is nothing but a requirement what client is asking for it. Like, for example, they say like, I need a cup of tea. Okay, so that's a requirement. So that's a business they wanted to. Now, process is like, the way of performing and achieving that requirement, right? So as I said, right, a cup of tea. So what are the process you will follow to prepare that a cup of tea, right? You will be switching on your stoves or putting some milk, adding some sugars and all that. So all those processes we follow to prepare that requirement, to get that requirement done. And then management, right? From where you will get the sugar, from where you will get the milk, and you need to, from to where you will pour the prepared tea and all, right? So kind of a data management you are doing it, right? From somewhere you will get the data and then mix it up, do something and then put it somewhere else, right? So that's the management, how you're working with the data or in terms of this things. So that is how the business process management works. Like business is kind of requirement, and how do you process to achieve that requirement, and how you getting the data and all that. So that's the business process management. Is that clear? If you see the example on the screen, it's a customer and online shopping relationship. People can do the shopping, they can place an order. If there are any offers, they can apply the offers as well, make a payment, and then the company will ship the order, people will get it and all, right? So this is kind of a workflow we are doing it in the backend. So that workflow in Appian comes as a process modeling. So process modeling is used to, you know, do the workflow process of your data and achieve the requirement. Clear? Any questions here? All right. So in the process model also, it will look like very similar to this one. And if you see these nodes will be called in Appian as smart services, which will be performing to achieve your task. Okay. Okay. Now you know about the Appian, right? What's the Appian is that? Yes, Ravindra, demo has started. We are talking about the Appian. All right. So, so Appian in the BPM tool, right? If you talk about the BPM tool, Appian is currently the leading the market with lot of companies and organizations are using this Appian projects, Appian application to build their projects. You can see this screens, right? So initially, when you talk about like 7 to 8 years back, Appian was uh, the feature wise it was still growing, but the UI interface was not that cool. It was very basic interfaces and like blues and white color, that's all. But now Appian has come up with very nice features and layouts of a screen designing, where it will give you a look and feel wise that you are working on a web application. So all these screens that you are seeing on your screen right now, these are built in Appian. Yes, low code. There's a slight difference between low code and no code. So as I said, right, no code, you don't have to write any code, just the drag and drop. But here we are at the combination of drag and drop plus some coding to achieve your requirement better. Okay, to give you the flexibility of changing the validations, not predefined validations. All right, so you can do that. If you talk about the companies like Equivia, and Bayer, and then Sanofi, see they are mentioning that the clinical trial startup times reduced by 1.5 months. 12 months to 1.5 months, which is a huge difference. That's how the Appian has came up with some quality of work and then reducing the work of the companies to perform any action.
Ravi, one quick
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we use the React.js in terms of building the interface design? The
No,
third
you can't.
party. Okay.
No, you
So only inbuilt functions only we should use, right? For
Yes,
the interface
yes,
design.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
It's not
everything
open
is
for
available.
anything. Is it? It's not open
No,
for
nothing
anything.
is open. No,
Got it.
right?
Right,
I
Ravi.
mean, there are
Thank you.
certain things you can do, like we can come to see that. Like, suppose if you are configuring an email configuration, right, and you want to design your a template of your email body with such a nice and some screens, and if you are very good at CSS, you can use an
Okay.
HTML template for your email body. So that you can do because that's an external thing that you are going to send through the email, but nothing in
Yeah.
your Appian interfaces. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, market posing as I talk about, currently this is the older data, but yeah, I mean, currently also the Appian is at the first position. There are many new tools are coming to the market, but yeah, still Appian is leading the team, right? Because um, it's quality of work, and then the way of working, and then the low code, and then all those things, right? And Appian is enhancing itself quite a lot. Every 4 months, every 3 months, it will release one new version, like every year it gives you the 4 versions of your Appian, which every time it increases and enhances itself. So that's how the Appian is growing. Okay, now good thing is that where the Appian fits. It's not like Appian work only within Appian itself, right? If you want, you can also have this Appian integrated in your applications. Like when I say your applications, if you are working in some different languages, right, you can integrate Appian objects interfaces there. You can integrate other Appians to your Appian environment, Appian other applications to your Appian environment. So that's how it is that your integration is very easy. Initially, if I talk about like during 2017, 20 till 2017, the integration was very tough. To get the data from a third party, to have to send the data to a third party, it was very difficult to perform. Why? Because the connection was very difficult to do in Appian. But now they have come up with some API concepts. So you can create your web APIs if you want to expose your Appian data to the third party. And same way, they have also come up with the integration feature where you can pull the information from the third party very easily to your Appian. So it's now in a like minute of seconds. So you can, if you have all those required information, you can quickly get all your data within a minute in your system. Okay, so that's how Appian fits in all of the places. Yeah, I mean, databases, if you talk about the Appian database, Appian is also gives you the in-house database that is called MariaDB, which is very much similar to the data MySQL. Initially that there was MySQL, but now they have changed to the MariaDB. So, but it's not like that you can only work its inbuilt database. You can also have your database residing somewhere else, like Oracle. You can use Oracle, you can use SQL Server or MySQL, Portable SQL. All those things can be easily configured, and then you can use it in your Appian. So data is also not limited. You can bring the data from anywhere. Just so Appian is definitely, what it does, it add the data and add the process and give you the requirement to be achieved. All right. Yeah, you can see this one of the example of the interface, how it can enhance the look. You can have good images and then icons. You can put some good charts. You can have it. So that's how the Appian give you the good way of UI looking wise. Okay. You see all those charts act on the real-time insights. If you have the data, it will quickly refreshes itself, and then you can have this data to be shown in the pie chart, line chart, or other chart that we have it, right? So we can have look in the ways. As I said, right, Appian is also now enhancing itself for the RPA thing. So robotic process automation has been introduced to the Appian recently, last year, and the RPA is still it's not that, I can say, good enough to compete the other already available in the market, right, like Blue Prism and all, right? But it is growing. In coming time, it will be also very good feature to have it, and then Appian will be leading RPA area as well. You can see this, right? The images here. This is nothing but the process models. This is how the process model looks like. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
Well, someone has texted mentioning that no audio. Okay, fine. All right. Let me continue. Okay, so this is how the process model looks like. I mean, basically, as I said, the example of creating a tea, right? So if you are going to prepare a tea, from where you will start? So there definitely there will be a start position, right? So from start to end, you will perform some actions, like from the start you will go and you switch on your stove, and then you put some jar on it, and then pour some milk on it, then bring some sugar on it. So all this milk and sugar, and then jar, these are residing in some different database. You can imagine these all are at some other places. You are bringing all them together to perform your task and then prepare a tea for your required business, right? So that's how the same way the business Appian also works at. You can bring the data from third party, from one place or two different places, collectively get all those information, and then prepare your requirement and complete your task. Also, Appian is not stopping till here. You can also take an action on your existing data. Like suppose you have created one request, and that request is went to the system, and now you want to make some update on it. All right. So Appian has a very good feature called records, which is a very powerful tool in the Appian. I can say that record is the backbone of the Appian, where you can bring all your information together and also take an action on it. Like if you want to update it, if you want to delete the record, or if you want to add new records. So those are called related actions if you want to work on the existing data, or record actions if you want to create a new record or delete the input to records, right? So that's how Appian is very powerful in working with the existing data as well, and creating the charts and reports based on those data. So all of these are kind of a you can see the skin wise, these are the process model design. All right, low code is up to 20 times faster than the custom code. If I ask you to design one screen where user can go and provide some inputs, and then we need to submit that data to the interface, right? In Java, it may take a day. Okay, if someone is very good at Java, it may take an hour. In Appian, you can do it in 15 minutes. Right, that's how the powerful Appian tool is that, and that's why companies are very much preferring this Appian, because they get a quick result, they get a quick demo of it, they can easily change it, and that's why the Appian is very much in preferable for the all the customers. When I say the customers, it's not like one or two. In coming slides I can show you, these are the customers, and these are the giants in their areas, and this is not limited. This is like few of them with what I have mentioned. Most of the US companies, most of the US banks, European banks, everyone, the pharma companies, everyone is now using Appian. All right, so that's how the company, the demand is of Appian right now in the market. Okay, I can give you the quick product demo. Before that, do you have any questions about the Appian?
So Ravi, in this course, like we'll be covering the integration part also, right? Like whatever you have shown us, the SAP integration, right? So that kind of external system connectivity also will be covered.
Yes. So we will be covering. As I said, right, what we will not cover is that the RPA thing. We will not be covering the
RPA and IDP. Yeah.
IDP. Those things we will not be covering it. And in the last release itself, they have come up with the portals. If you want, I can go walk you through the portals. It's not a big thing, but we can cover that. Initially, it was not there into the uh, the course content, but we can add it. That's fine. But RP and IDP is definitely not, we are not going to cover it, because people make comes and like mid of the session they said, no, you didn't mention that you are not going to cover this RPA, I need my money back, which is very not feels good. So that's why I clearly mentioned IDP and RPA we are not going to cover, and that is also not required for every app in development, right? That is for the extra requirement if someone wants to do it, and that's it. Itself take a complete course, a month or 1.5 months. It's not that easy thing. Okay.
Got it, Ravi.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more questions on Appians and market posing and what it does? Then I can walk you through this Appian demo of your application, how it looks like. All right. Now let me show you at least about the Appian architect, how it looks like. And before that, what are the kind of objects we have in our Appian, which will help you to create an entire application. So we have process model, obviously, for your backend workflow. We have records, we have reports, we have expression rules, interface, constants. All those objects will be used to build your application. The folders and the document. I will show you in Appian how it looks like. And before that, let me show you some architectural thing of an Appian. Likewise, any other basic coding standard, like if you talk about Java or C or something like this, right? Appian also has 3 layers. Every application has the 3 layers. First is the front end, back end, and then services, what we use. It's the same way here in the front end, we can talk about it has interfaces, back end we have data, and then services, what server it is used to perform all those things, where the functions are residing, where the rules are residing, where your objects that you will be creating will be residing, right? All those things. So if you talk about the interface layer, interface we have tempo and sites. Initially, people were using the tempo. Site wasn't there. Now site has also come up with these things, okay? And sites is the feature which gives you the feel and look wise that you are working on a web application. Tempo is seems like you are working on an Appian environment. When I talk about Appian environment, let me tell you about that. Appian has two kinds of environment. One is the on cloud, and second is the on premise. Okay, most of the companies use on cloud. Very few companies which is very giant and very restricted in terms of the security and all. They use on-premise. Okay, so we will be also working on a on cloud version, and we'll see how it looks like. So initially, the Appian application was working on a tempo, which was a very, look and feel wise, it seems like that you are working on an Appian environment, but sites gives you a feature, feel wise that you are working on a web application. Designers is basically where you actually go and do the coding. Appian is so restricted that it allows you to create your application and structure your applications based on the users, like basic user and system admin users. So basic users are the one who will be using your application. System administrators are the one who will be designing your application. Okay, and admin console definitely for some security settings we can have. Let me show you this all into the Appian environment. And definitely we are using these, Apache web servers and all, right, in the backend. And for the file management, everywhere we are using this server to keep the files, like your expression rules, your interface, whatever rule you will be creating for your applications, whatever file you are uploading, all those will be residing into your servers. And as a backend, we are using the MariaDB inbuilt, that comes with the inbuilt, but it's not limited to that. You can also use MySQL, SQL Server, Oracles, and all you can connect it. Okay. All right. So let me walk you through some Appian environment and how it looks like. Give me a minute.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, I have a question. So
Yes.
it's work on like Apache and Tomcat servers, like so. If any error comes or anything for APN, it will be storing in this Apache and Tomcat logs.
Yes. All those things will be, there's a log server. So everything, if something goes wrong, like if you're creating any new object, if you're deleting any object, so for everything there's a log server. So you need to go for the log server and you need to get that, find it out. So what's the error? Okay.
Are we able to access that log servers?
Yes, you are. You will be able to access. I'll
Okay,
show
okay.
you.
It's like okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. Hope you can see my screen. So this is what Appian interface looks like. This is the tempo. If you see here, right, in the shoots, this is the URL of my Appian environment because we are using on cloud, and this is the tempo. So every Appian shoot has 4 shoots. Appian environment has 4 shoots. The first one is the tempo, and now in the tempo we have 5 different shoots like news, tasks, records, reports, and actions. Let me walk you through that. What is the news? So news is basically if you have any things that need to be published on for a for an entire audience, you can put that in. You can see that on the news tabs. Task is that, if any task is assigned to you and you need to complete that task, then you will come to the task tab and you'll see, okay, this is a task that has been assigned to me. Let me go and complete it. So you can go and then see the details and then you can complete the task. Okay. Records are basically if there are any records in your system that you wanted to see, you can see all those records are available and you can take an action on the record. So if you click on particular record, you can see the summary page of the record, and then you can, if you want, you can take an action on it. If you want to add any record, you can add. This is called a related action. If you click on that, you will be able to update your record. Okay, and then submit it, then this will get updated. Okay, similar wise, if you want to add a new record, you can do that. This is called record action of your record. So if it will allow you to create a new employee and all, right? If you, that all things you can perform by using this Appian record, which is a very powerful and big backbone of your Appian development. Now it comes to the reports. Like if you want to represent your any of the applications data chart wise, you can do that. Like we talk about the task for register. If nothing is there, let me see something. Do we have? Yeah, see all those charts are available. You can perform and create any charts based on your data, which is very easy to perform. Actions, if you want to perform any new actions for your applications, like you want to apply a leave or you want to add a vehicle to your fleet, if you want to raise a system request, all those things that comes as a actions, because you are going to trigger a new action for your work. Okay, so this is a very basic and first shoot of our Appian, that is called tempo, which will be accessible by both of the users, system admin and then basic users. Ideally this is for the basic users, where they can go and come use your applications whatever you have built. The second suits that we have is called Appian Designer. Appian Designer is basically for the developers or the system administrator who will be creating your applications, your requirement. And one Appian environment, it's not like that. It can have only one application. One Appian environment can have n number of applications for your n number of requirements. Okay. So these all are the applications. You can see these are the applications that has been built here, and then it gives you the a few. If I talk about if you want to create a new application, you just click on the new application and give the name and all. You can create a new application. You can also monitor your instances. I mean, what instance is running in the behind, what is happening, what is going on, what's the error. You can see it right here, all those things. And if you talk about the deployment, that is also possible from the Appian. Appian also gives you the inbuilt deployment. And let me clear you one thing, that we can touch up this deployment topic. I can show you how the deployment works, but I cannot exactly show you on screen. Why? Because the Appian environment does not allow to do that. It's a free environment, right, that we are using. So it doesn't allow you to do the deployment. It doesn't allow you to take a package and all, right? So because it's a environment given by the Appian for learning purpose, so they don't want you to misuse it. So that's why they have disabled all those deployment services. But I can walk you through how it looks like and how it will work. I will walk you through that. Okay, now the third suite that we have is called cloud database. Okay, so cloud database is basically your inbuilt database where we can create the tables, views, and then we can make use of in your Appian development for storing the data and retrieving the data. The main fourth data, I mean, not the main, but the fourth database is called admin console, which is for only for the system administrator, not for the developers, where they can set the branding of your application. They can create a users. They can put some limitations, that what kind of file you wanted to upload, all those things, and some LDAP configuration or the health check report. They can check all those things. They can perform by using the admin console. This is only for the system administrator, and it cannot be used by the developer or the basic users. And the one that you are asking for this, the logs. So we have a system logs shoot as well, where you can go and check for the log files, whatever you wanted. You can have those log files here listed here. For example, if something goes wrong, we have a Tomcat log file here. std out. So standard out log. So Tomcat standard out log, it will give you the, if something goes wrong in your application, it will become listed here. So this is how you can access your log files. Okay.
So actually only here we can do this check the system logs, or through any other application also we can check the system logs?
No. Only system logs, they have given you an option where you can go and check. Okay, they will, Appian does not allow you to get into the code of Appian itself. You cannot modify your existing functions. You cannot change anything on your whatever has been used to build this Appian environment. Okay, you will be, whatever you will be requiring, you will get it. Now if you need more than this, to do some more dig and
Debugging.
get out what the, you can ask the Appian support team to help you out. They will be able to do that.
Okay.
But whatever they have given you is more than enough to identify an issue and resolve it.
So only here we can check that the system logs. Apart from this, we in no other systems we can check.
You can let me. There's one more place, like only for the Appian interface also gives you some error. Okay, like for example, let me show you. If you talk about an expression rule, if you are creating any expression rule, okay, let me open any expression rule. If I say, let me declare some local variable here. I'll say local value 1, and then I'll say local value 2. You see, it's still it's showing the error. It seems that expression error at function local value parameter 2 invalid symbol form, close pattern. We cannot declare two variables without a comma separates. If I put a comma separate, it will be gone. Okay. So here also gives you the error to fix it. Now, if you talk about the if you talk about the process models, let me go and see monitor mode. I think there are certain uh, process model which has broken. Process with, yeah, we have process with errors. So if you talk about this one, right? See, this has broken. It is not working. What is the error? So to get the error, we can go to the process details and then go to the errors tab. It will give you the error here. Okay. So if you are not able to get the message, okay, why still I'm not able to find it, then you can go for the log file. And even there you are not able to get it, then you can ask for the Appian support to help you out. But these are enough information to make you understand that what's the error. Okay.
Okay.
But Ravi, can we write our own custom logs like using log4j?
No, you can't.
Okay. And can we use any DevOps here, like GitHub or for code deployment, urban code deployment
You
and all?
can. I mean, definitely not here like you, but you need to upload the files, right? You need to upload the code to your GitHub, right? You
Yeah.
can include it here, but there's no need of that. Why? Because
Okay.
Appian itself has some DevOps features. You don't have to use it. When you will get your actual application, right, you will be able to see that. Let me show you. If I say this one, like for this application, I want to deploy, right? If you go to the deployment, it has the feature like export and deploy. Let me try to find out something here. You see, compare and deploy. This
Oh,
is the
okay.
option
Okay.
where you can easily go and select your environment and then upload the package or the same package, whatever you want to. It will take at you just have to click next, and then the package will get deployed to your higher environment.
Okay. Since we are not developing anything in our local, so there is no need to have any versioning control system, right?
It
It will
has the
maintain
version control system
automatically.
also. It is automatically like you talk about this particular interface, right? If
Yeah.
I want to see the versions, if I click on this, go to the monitor and then see the versions. These are the versions we have. It will always be using the latest one, but these are the versions we have
Got it.
for us. So whenever
Got
we
it, Ravi.
do the deployment, always the latest one get deployed, not the previous any one of them. Okay.
So until we select specifically to deploy the old version.
Now in that case also you have to republish your resave your object. Like suppose in this case, I want to deploy the version number say third. I have to open it and then I have to save it. You can't define the version in your uh, deployment process. Whatever is the latest save will get deployed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? I mean, this is what we have in Appian. These are things that I wanted to show you guys. We talk about what the Appian is, how the Appian interface looks like, so what are the suites we have. Anything you wanted to know about the Appian?
I have a quick question. I have
Yeah.
enrolled for the APN edition, the for the instance,
Mm-hmm.
and I was tried. I got it, but again, it got disabled. Like it says
Mm-hmm.
like it's in uh, not able to get it. It's an maintenance something it gives.
Yeah. Actually, what happened? There's a lot of requirement of Appian nowadays. So many people are requesting for this Appian environment, and which is it's a costly thing, right? To provide each and every one for a separate instance, right? So that's what we faced last time. My the last current patch is also going on, and that one, people are not able to get that one. So what I did, we created a credentials and we shared with them, and so that they are able to perform, do some development practice and all, right. It just they have to make sure that they do not share this credential with someone else, and then do not disturb someone else code. So we share our environment to you guys for practice.
Yeah. No, but it was approved. But again, it was kind of
Yeah,
they
it
said like
happened. Even mine was was shut down because I wasn't using it for a long time. If you don't use for like 3 to 4 days continuously, they will shut it down. They'll say that you are not using it. Let's free it up, right? Because people are waiting. There are a lot of people in the queue who wants this Appian instances. So that's why you need to open it at a regular basis, do something, and then close it. That's why. But yes, that will take time. You will get it. It will be ready for you, but it will take time. Yep. Any more questions, guys?
Ravi, one last question. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
so the roles like the developer, administrator, and the architecture, let's say, okay. So as a developer, is it our responsibility to create the database tables and do some administration stuff and creating some process model to create one end-to-end flow, or will there be any different back teams like the
No,
database will be taken care one
that
team
depends.
like that?
That depends on company to company. Like if you go such few companies have their own database teams. Okay, so they gave you the everything whatever is required. You just ask for them, and they will create it for it. But it will always be good to have that knowledge because there are many companies as well who wants you to create the tables and all that, which is not a big thing. But still,
Yeah.
if you need some more help, you can ask for a database member or something who has a good knowledge. But yes, you can create basically create the database and all, right? It's not that big things to do it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it should
yeah,
be optimized and discuss. But as a developer, you will be creating end-to-end workflow.
So when we
including
come
that
to
interface design.
Yes, everything.
Okay.
Yes, Swashni.
when we come to the the database, is it like there are two databases or what? Is there only one database? Appian database is there, and as you mentioned, the MariaDB that the Appian is using. Will be there any sometimes I saw like somewhere it said enterprise the tables that when you want to retrieve from the tables data entity, it is different from data record, like kind of is there any, what I mean to say is there any two databases or there's only one database? Temporary database Appian uses, and then it has another database where it is going to, I mean, volatile and non-volatile. Is there anything there with respect to when come to the databases?
So suppose your company wants to develop an application in Appian, and all the data is already there into their Oracle database, right? You don't need to use your Appian inbuilt MariaDB. You can easily connect with your Oracle database and you get the data and work it with that.
Oh,
So
there is not. It's not mandatory that we are
no,
have to use
not
the
mandatory.
MariaDB.
No, it's not mandatory. It's just for your, in-house. They are giving you a feature. If you want to
Okay.
use it, it is. I mean, most welcome. If you don't, then that's fine. It's not mandatory to use it.
Okay. Thank you.
Like, is there any difference to this DB and that one?
Um, I mean, every database is different in some nature, right? Oracle database, some uh, functions are different. MariaDB is different. MySQL is different. In terms of few terminologies, it is different. Yeah, but concept-wise, every database is same.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay. What we will be sharing, at the end of those things. So first of all, we will be going through the training sessions. We will be working on kind of end-to-end workflow of any application, any use case. For example, right now I'm just going through the lead management system, and at the end of the session, we will be sharing you some questions of for interviews. We will be sharing some. We'll try to get it because nowadays getting the questions for the certification is very tough. I'll try to find it out because the older versions is not gonna help you out. So in the latest versions, then the I mean The certification happens through a video call. People, you need to get into the video call to get it done, right? So it's very difficult to remember all those questions and get it done, right? So that's why we'll try to get it, and if we will, we'll share with you guys to help you out to clear the certifications.
So, with respect to certification, like the questions, is that straight, or even with it will be there that as a developer, if we are taking the certification, they're going to ask the questions to write the code there, or to write is will be there
No,
like that,
no,
or
no.
all
It
multiple
will be
choice?
MCQs. All are the MCQs. Most of the questions will be like theoretically. Few questions in developer level. Few questions will be like scenario based. Okay, this is the thing, and what should be the output of this one? I mean, uh, not there will be much code, but yeah, there like says that. For example, mostly they will ask best practices, how you follow, what should be done, and how you achieve these things, what is the function name explanation and all this, right? But not they will not ask you to write the code for sure.
So, when you are going to, are you going to, when you're going to explain the, applications here, are you going to use any, existing applications, or we are going to create our own
No,
applications?
no, no. We are going to create our own applications from the beginning. So that's what I mentioned initially, right? I personally prefer to create an applications and then see when we need to use what objects, because that comes in that flow. If you talk about like a separate topic wise, like process model, just tell me about a process model in like 2 or 3 classes. Tell me about the interfaces. You will be able to understand what the objects are, what's the use of it, but you will not be able to connect when to use what, right? So that's why I prefer to go for a training with the while creating an application. So you will see that how the things flow from start to end, and how do we achieve that.
Ravi, what could be the cost of certification, the developer certification?
See that certification cost for each level is $200, and if you are working with a company which is Appian partners, you will get a 50% of discount. Like for example, um, the companies like Coforge, Capgemini, and TCS, they are Appian partners. So if you are employee of that one, you'll get 50% of discount.
Okay, Ravi.
Otherwise, it's $200.
So we have the mock test, right? Can we take the mock test any number of times, or only one time we are
Yeah,
supposed
you
to
can
do?
take any number of time.
Okay. But it does it show up like you have not done it when it is comes like mock test? Like will there be
No,
any
it doesn't show to anyone else. It is just to you.
okay, got it.
Yeah. No questions for others. Only two members are asking questions.
Sorry, I joined late, so I don't know what.
No, that's fine. I mean, no, I mean that is good. I mean, for asking questions is always good, guys. I mean, even if you join the training, I'll every day I'll ask you to ask questions. If you don't, see, my responsibility is to complete your training. If you don't ask, I can't go and go and deeper and deeper, right? If you ask questions, it will benefit for you. Otherwise, I'll just complete my course and then I'll go, right. So yes, if you are asking questions, it's good for you.
So when you the training when you cover it, are you going with respect to the course in the learning part, whatever they have mentioned it for the developer will be you going in that sequence, or just you have your own sequence?
No, we don't go follow in a sequence. So what we do, we start for a application development, and then what comes in the next stage. So what is required and my next step to be achieve this requirement. So based on that, we will be completing everything. So you will be able to connect in that way. Okay, this is a scenario where I can use this particular object and get it done, right? So that's it.
Do you have any course content that you will be following, like
Yes, we do have. We'll share with you guys. Khalid, Harita, Shiva.
Yes, Ravi.
No, I'm just asking other guys to if they have any questions. But yeah,
No, Ravi.
No, Ravi, all good for today.
yeah, go ahead.
This is the first class, right? Sorry, I didn't.
It's a demo class, not the first class. It's a demo class. The first class will start once you guys will confirm.
Okay,
This is just a demo.
got it.